It's the day that I think many have been waiting for. We are going to predict Kentucky's record in SEC play. I've been fired up for this show for weeks. I know Carson has as well, and that's going to be the show today here on the Wildcats Today podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, writer over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined as always by Carson Nash, and we are ready to talk a little bit of SEC ball. Carson, SEC basketball has me feeling really nicey. What about you?
It's got me feeling nicey as well. It's an awesome Thursday. How you doing today, Stefaniak?
I'm fired up. I really like the thought of, I think those 10 days off really got me ready to go for SEC ball. Because, I mean, it's especially this season, Carson, there ain't no days off. Even when you go play Vandy, I mean, seriously, there are no such thing as days off this season for the Cats. So I'm fired up. This is going to be first of all, Carson, one thing I want to say, and then I'll let you speak on this too. What about the SEC, man? I mean, seriously, this is great. Kentucky basketball has been special for our whole entire life, Carson, and the lives of many of our friends and families. And but there was always, I mean, we would go 17-1 in SEC, you know what I mean? Like we would win every SEC game or lose one random game at Georgia or something silly, and we'd always do great in SEC play. This is different, and I love it. It's more fun. This is fun. As a Kentucky fan, we now are stressed and excited about all these ball games instead of, okay, well, we just beat Mississippi State by 17 points on the road. We just beat Auburn by 42. We beat Alabama by 17. Now we're just waiting for March. This is fun. So what are your thoughts on what the SEC is now?
Yeah, well, my thoughts on what the SEC is now is the SEC is the best basketball conference in the country. Those are my
what about
thoughts.
Everything conference.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. In every sport. Sport.
Even chess.
But no, seriously, this is the most impressive thing I think I've ever seen. Yeah. This conference, starting now, of course, we got to go through the rest of the season to get all play out. But as of right now, this is the best SEC I've ever seen in terms of basketball. And I think it could be the best basketball conference of all time this season. Yeah. The most talent, good teams in one conference. I think it could be the best of all time.
Yeah.
And that is remarkable compared to where it was not too long ago. So that's a big plus for Kentucky, in my opinion, because it gets your team ready for those trials and tribulations. It gives you those for March. So your team's set and ready to compete at the highest level and has already been through those bumps in the road, knows how to get punched in the face and get back up.
I mean, first of all, Carson, do you know how many SEC teams are ranked right now? I found this out yesterday.
How many? I don't know the exact number.
10. And then get this. I'm looking at Kentucky's schedule on ESPN right now. I'm going to list you the records of 5 teams. Well, I guess that would mean there's only 6 that aren't ranked. Here's 5 of them. South Carolina is 10-3. Texas is 11-2. Vandy is 12-1. And then LSU is 11-2 and Missouri is 11-2. I mean, so it's not like there's any 6-6 teams or 6-7 teams or 7-6 teams wobbling into SEC play. I mean, and now obviously I assume those records aren't elite, but that doesn't matter. The point is, this is top to bottom a great conference. I could see Texas walking back into the rankings at some point. South Carolina is the team who they haven't been what we thought, but you never know. They could heat it up and figure it out. This is a dang good conference, and it's exciting. So, Carson, how about this? Give me a 30-second what you thought about the Brown game. I'll do the same, and then we'll get into this.
Yeah, I liked our competitiveness in that game. I thought we came out a little poor at the beginning, but I'll give us that. And then our energy levels started to pick back up to where they needed to be, which was nice. I thought Amari did some really good things. I know we were harping on him a lot on the pod before the game, but I thought he played really well. There were still spurts where he looked a little uninterested, but I mean, he did. There were some spurts where he looked like the Hulk. So that was exciting to see. We just need to see it all put together, for 40 minutes of basketball.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would say my first thought there was the same. Amari had 3 blocks. I'm pretty sure he had 4. There was one, I think he had 4. There was one that
Yeah.
because I saw it, I'm like, there's his 4th, and he had 3
Yeah,
at the
and
end
they
of the
didn't
game.
count
I
it.
was like, but he looked mean around the rim. And I mean, obviously, clearly he's a everydayer here on the Wildcats Today podcast. Just kidding. But it is funny. I do find it so funny. Like, I was down on the court doing just taking some video for some pregame stuff. And then I was just thinking about, like, obviously we were not bashing Amari, but we were saying stuff he's going to work on. And then I'm looking at him, then went up. I'm like, he could just like kill me in one punch right now if he really wanted to. like, I hope this guy has no idea who I am. But I was thinking about that on the court the other day. I was like, I mean, he could just like throw me like the Hulk in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But love to see him play well. I love that in the game where we didn't start hot, you kind of settle in and get things going. But the one thing I'll say, once we do get into this gauntlet of SEC play,
You got to start hot. I mean, it's
can't
been an
start
issue.
slow.
It's
Can't
been
be
an
down
issue.
15-3 because you've done it in every darn big game. And now every one of these is a big game. You can't be down 10 at halftime in all 18 of these games because you're going to go 6-12 if you do that. I mean, like, seriously, you've got to come out hot in some of these games and preferably bury some of these teams. So that's my thoughts from the Brown game. Carson, Saturday, big one, Florida. Thoughts? How do we do? Do we win this one or lose this one?
Yeah, I have predicted us to win this one just because I think it's the start of the SEC. It's a home game. It's going to be a Saturday. The crowd's going to be wild. It's going to be a fun time, fun environment. I'm going to pick us because we're at home, but I think it's going to be a battle. I mean, Walter Clayton and the Florida Gators are a elite basketball team. Yes, and now I know people are like, they haven't really beat anyone that great. No, they're a good team. They're older. They know what they're doing, and they're going to compete at the highest level. And it's going to be a tough game, but I think we win at the end. I think it's going to be one of those classic Rupp games where it comes down to the very wire, and it's going to be a really fun Saturday after the Cats beat the Gators.
You going to be there? Are you going to that one?
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
I'm really looking forward to going to this game. It is fun.
Me and Birthday Boy will be there. 21st.
Jake Nash. Big 21 for Jake Nash. That's exciting. That's big stuff. But it does get a little. I mean, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. It does. I'm not saying it's boring going to Games Drop Arena, but it's a lot more exciting when you're playing number 6 Florida rather than Brown in Georgia State. It's just a lot. I'm just fired up for this game on Saturday. I also have us winning. Florida currently. I agree with you that I've seen the narrative is we haven't played anybody. They are strength of schedule right now is 115th in all college basketball. There's no debating that, but they're good, man. They're really good. This is not. They're good.
They beat us last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm in on the Florida Gators this year. Seriously. So I do not. I think we win this game, but I think it's I would not be predicting a win if this was in Gainesville.
No, I wouldn't either. I agree. I wouldn't either.
I think we win this game at home. And one thing I'm going to tell you before we get deeper into this, home games in the SEC this year.
Crucial.
9-0. You can't lose. Seriously, winning the ranked home games will be everything because that's just their quad one builders. A lot of these are quad one games. You have got to win these home ranked games, these home quad one games. They're so valuable when March comes around. They're just, I mean, obviously you want to win road ranked games as well, but it's really hard. Gotta rack up these home ranked wins. So
and if you do that, the other losses aren't going to hurt you as bad because you're losing to good teams on the road. Yes. So they're going to be quad one losses. They're not going to kill you. It's not going to drop you a seed line or anything if you lose.
And where's the tournament played? Neutral site.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer.
There's no home crowds in neutral site. Well, there is.
Well, I was going to say there is. There is. So I think that we beat Florida. I think it's a close game. I'll tell you this. I think if we play Florida on a neutral court right now, I think Florida wins. I have a feeling we're going to keep up.
If the line came out, I'd say it's -1 or 2 Kentucky.
I'd say I could see that. What I'm saying is I think that they're a great team, but I think that we're going to be better at the end of the year. I think if we play on a neutral court in March, I think we win. I think Florida's good. I think we win this game narrow. We're gonna break this game alone down tomorrow, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I have Florida as a win, close game, 1-0 at Georgia. We're rooting for them today.
I have something to go over before we break down the rest of these real quick.
Yeah.
So I saw something on Twitter by a guy named Ben Brandon. So shout out Ben. But he used net, KenPom, a bunch of different metrics, the Torvik, Evan Maya, a bunch of different metrics to get the strength of schedule in conference. So like every team in conference where they're based, strength of schedule. And we came up third. Mm-hmm. South Carolina and Ole Miss were the only two ahead of us. So not only do you have a hard schedule, you have one of the harder SEC schedules too.
Yeah.
So you're really going to be battle tested this year, and it's going to be a very, very difficult schedule. So yeah, I'll let you get back into your flow now, because everyone's got to preface that with this.
Yeah, no, that is a great stat. Shout out to that guy. That's good work there. So at Georgia, Carson, I'll start on this one. Georgia's a weird team. Georgia's one of the weirder SEC teams to me, because I actually also think that they're pretty darn good. I mean, on the year, they do have beat Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's not a great team still. Lose to number 15 Marquette. Beat St. John's. Solid win there in December. Beat Notre Dame. Not much going on. I think that they're I don't think that they're quite a battle-tested team at this point. But they only played 5 games in the month of December. That's a little crazy to me. But I still think they're a solid team. I win this game, but it's a little. Here's the deal. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to talk about, well, we're going to beat Vandy, but it scares me. Yeah, it does. And I think Georgia's a darn good basketball team. So I think it's hard to predict this as a loss, but we could lose this game. But I'm taking us for a win in a game where, I don't see us blowing them out. So thoughts on this one, Carson?
Yeah, I also have us winning this game. I wrote down the reason why I think that we win this game is I think they're a little careless with the basketball. They average 13.2 turnovers a game, which is not very good at all. So I think them playing that high, they play fast paced. They get off a lot of shots, but I think we're battle tested. We're the better team. We're more talented. I think we beat Georgia.
I do too. I'm really. I think once again this game is a great. This game is a perfect example of why this conference is so tough, because
you don't get a break.
This is supposed to be a break, and it's not, especially on the road. This was in Lexington. I wouldn't be concerned about it, I'll be honest with you. But I'm in Athens. Now, once again, I do think that during this game, they're going to have a big thing on their mind. Still, hopefully, because put my money on that one for a couple minutes, actually. But I think we win that one. At Mississippi State, Carson, I'll let you start on this one.
Yeah, this is my first loss of the conference season. I just think that Mississippi State is their older team. They have been there before. They got Hubbard. He goes insane. It's going to be a rough atmosphere. It's a Saturday night. I don't see us winning that one.
I think that Hubbard is that dude, as we used to call Brandon.
I do too.
I want him to come here. Hey, come here. Leave there. Come here.
He would be great.
Kentucky is more fun than Starkville, Mississippi. I don't see us winning this game. I think Jans is a great coach. I think Mississippi State is a good basketball team on the road. I think we get our first loss. I think it's going to be a tough game to go win. But right after that one, you've got a couple games that become very, very important. And the first of those is against Texas A&M at home. I'll start on this one. And Connor Hall left me a voicemail. I bet that is going to be crazy. Texas A&M, I think that we win this game. I think that they are a good basketball team. I don't think that they are the, 13th team in the country? Yeah, 13th. They're not. Come on, man. They're not the third. They're just not. They're just not the 13th best team in college basketball. I don't know why I'm a Texas A&M basketball hater so much in this podcast. I really don't. But they're not that good. We win this game at home, and I think Texas A&M is going to be that team where you look at the end of it and you go, "Oh, they went 8-10 in SEC, or they went 9-9 in SEC." Which, in all honesty, I mean, that gets you in the tournament. But but it's like they're going to people predict them to finish fourth or fifth, whatever, and that I just don't think that they're that good. So I think we win this game. Thoughts there, Carson?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I feel like we're staying on the same track, but I think we win this game. I think we lost there last year. I don't see us losing to them again, especially not at home. And I think Wade Taylor is going to end his streak of playing good against Kentucky.
I hope so, because I've had about enough of that.
Yeah,
I've had enough of it.
I think he gets back to his 2 of 20 ways, and we get a win.
Yeah. This is an interesting one, Carson. This is an interesting one. Alabama, Crimson Tide. Basketball, not football. Nick Saban's gone. Alabama Jones, the bad man, is gone. Okay. Weird game, Carson. Does Kentucky beat Alabama at home on Saturday, January 18th?
I think we do beat them at home. Yeah, I have us winning this game. Another home game. It's going to be a crucial game for us to win. So there will be utmost importance in that game. So I do think we win. And I don't know if Bama is as good as they were last year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling that with them yet. Now, they could always get hot, but I don't see them being as good as they were last year, just based on what I've seen so far. So I'm going to give us the win in this one. What's your take?
I promised, ladies and gentlemen, that we are going to eventually say some different things. But I do agree with you that we beat Bama at home. I'm also heavy on this win these games at home against ranked
Me too.
teams. I don't think Alabama's that good. Okay, let me pause. Take that back. I think Alabama's good. I don't think they're number 5 team in the country, elite, insane, unbeatable Alabama that we saw last year.
I agree.
Steamrolled last year, by the way.
Yeah. I agree.
So I think that Mark Sears is a good player. I think that we now have the perfect weapon to shut him down. Grant Nelson, come on. I mean, he's Walmart brand car. And Grant Nelson's a good player, but now this freshman kid, Phylon, kid's good. Kid's really good. I liked him out of high school a lot. And then is Right Sell is the guy that they was a really good player. They lost him for the year.
Yeah.
Aiden Holloway is trash. I think that now the Cliff Amori, he's a pretty good defensive player, but I
can't do anything on offense.
I just am not worried about him, man. It's the Mark Sears show, and I think Lamont Butler's going to shut him down. So I think we beat Alabama. Frankly, I don't want to. The more I talk about it out loud, I took us to lose to him in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to a little preview there, but the more I talk about it, it's like
I know you're doing the same thing to me too. A little preview. I
mean, Aiden Holloway sucks, and then obviously, I mean, that guy sucks, and then he is going to be Wade Taylor when Wade Taylor moves on. I will root against Aiden Holloway always. Sucks, but so Bama, I think we win that game at home. So that I have us at this point in the season 4-1, which ironically, ESPN and their analytics agree with us. That's exactly what they have Kentucky's record at this point. I wrote an article about that this morning. They have us 4-1 at this point in the season, which I was a little surprised by. I thought they would have us losing to Bama at home, and they did not. So at Vandy on a Saturday in Nashville.
We'll be in attendance.
Yes.
I got a W. Cats are beating Vandy at Vandy. It'll be Rupp Arena South.
It will.
So I think we win there.
I won't spend a ton of time on this one. I think Kentucky fans are going to sell out that quickly. Have a fun old time in Nashville.
Yeah, when's the last time we've played a Saturday game at Vandy?
It does always feel like it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday at 9:00 every time, which stinks because, like, give me an excuse to go to
let
Nashville.
me go. Yeah.
Give me an excuse to go. Seriously. So I'm fired up for a Saturday game there. At Tennessee, Carson, I'll go on this one. I don't see us winning this one on the road. I also think that Tennessee is a little bit fraudulent. Now hold on. When I say that these teams, when I'm talking about Bama, they're still going 15-3 in the ACC, or if that, or 14-4, 13 or 15-3 in the Big 12. I'm talking about this is compared to in the SEC.
Yeah,
I think that some of these teams are really, really good, but we're going to see teams beat up on each other. I'm not saying that they're not
100%.
good in the scale of things. I think that SEC basketball this year is going to be really similar to what I like to talk about with SEC baseball, which is if you just put them in a regional, these teams, I don't care if you put Missouri in a regional. If you let SEC baseball teams in a regional, they're going to win because we're better than everybody else. They just beat up on each other all year long. And that's what SEC basketball is to me this season. Once the tournament starts, unless we're playing each other, I think we're going to see a lot of SEC in the Elite Eight. I think we're going to see 4 SEC teams in the Elite Eight. Unless
that would be awesome.
I think that Auburn is incredible. I think that Alabama is really good. I think that Tennessee is really good. I think Kentucky is really good. I think that A&M is dog poop. I think that Oklahoma is pretty darn good. There's a lot of good teams. I'm serious. And Holloway sucks. There's just a lot of good teams in this conference. So I'm a believer in like, seriously, like, I don't think that that's a crazy. If maybe it's crazy.
I honestly don't think it's that crazy either, even though that is crazy. Like, that would be
that's
crazy.
my point. Yeah. So, and then this one game, it's not that big of a deal, but the next one I have here.
Well, I didn't get to predict.
Oh, you didn't predict? Oh, I was just excited to preview the next one. You go ahead.
I had us losing as well. You know what?
I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised you did that, knowing you.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm also happy because I left this one off of my list because you know how I was telling you I wanted to get to the record I wanted to be at. Yeah. So yeah, this is the loss. I think we lose here. I mean, it's Tennessee at Tennessee. You know how that goes. The referees will be involved down there, the fans, and you know how that goes. We'll lose down there. But yeah.
So that does it for us in the month of January. So in those 7 games, we both have Kentucky going 5-2, which I think would be a great, great start. Now, a game, which, I mean, I don't think there'll be much media coverage on this one or anything, but I guess on Saturday, the 1st of February, we play Arkansas. Carson, what do you think is going to happen there?
Yeah, I have us winning. I have us winning at home and Cal's return. I think it's just going to be too big of a moment for us to lose that game. Rupp Arena is going to be the craziest I think we've seen since the North Carolina game when Anthony Davis blocked that shot. Like, I think it's literally going to be, it might even be crazier than that. People want him to come back and so we can win. And we're going to. Yeah.
I'm already dreading my drive to Rupp Arena for that game. Like, right now, I'm already dreading that.
3-hour stoppage on Broadway.
Like, I might walk in 2 hours to the game, like, legitimately, like in February 1st, I might, because that's going to be less miserable than the drive there. I think we win that game too. I think Mark Pope is going to look in the mirror and say, I'm not losing this damn basketball game. I think it's simple as that. I think that Arkansas is fine. I think they're good. I think Arkansas is going to be a team. I don't like that we play them in February. I think they're going to slowly figure things out and be a pretty good team.
The same applies for them as it does us. Cal's going to be fired up. All their players are going to be fired up.
Yeah,
it's just going to be a war out there.
You think Kareem Watkins doesn't want to come win this game? Like, seriously.
Dude, he's definitely going to the hill.
That was good. That was fun. That was the daymaker right there. But yeah, I think we win that one. Here's an interesting one. Let's see if we disagree. At Ole Miss, Carson, at Ole Miss against the number 24 team in the country at Ole Miss. What do you got down for this one?
Yeah, I think we lose that game. I have us losing.
Doing what I'm doing.
Seriously though. Let's preface this. We decided to not share anything about.
Yes, I wrote this down on my notepad this morning, and I called Carson
on my phone
before we did it, and I said, "Write yours down and let's not share it." I think we disagree a bit at the end. I think is where we're
okay.
But just go ahead, continue.
But yeah, I have us losing that game. Chris Beard's a great coach. It's going to be on the road, and we're coming off a big win against Arkansas. I just think it's going to be one of those weird losses where we're like beating Arkansas, then we're like, oh, we're awesome, and then it's like, well, we got to take a step back and see what we actually are.
Yeah. So I think what's going to be interesting is that loss to Memphis for Ole Miss. They lost to Memphis by 17 points. Memphis is not. Yeah, they're good. They're not great. And that's an ugly loss.
Yeah.
To lose by that many points. I know it's on the road and it's a good game for them to play, but they might be on a little bit of fraud alert at that point. And we'll definitely, Carson, like do a back half prediction type of thing.
Oh yeah.
For SEC play. And maybe a lot of these games could change at that
point.
Oh
yeah. All of this is going to be fluid because there's going to be injuries. There's going to be other things that happen. We're going to see which teams are legit because we're going to beat up on each other. So it'll change.
But Ole Miss, they got some shooters, they got some good teams, and I think after a big win, a big emotional win over.
That's really the only reason I'm picking this as a loss is because of the emotional status of the Arkansas game.
So
because I think we are a better team than Ole Miss. I just think we've been bit in the past by so many weird SEC games that I think this is one of those.
So here it is to me. Against Arkansas, Saturday, 9:00. ESPN, then you go play in Oxford, Mississippi, Tuesday night, 7:00. It's just that's my exact reasoning. It's the bad vibes. South Carolina at home. I'll go first this one. We won't spend a lot of time here. They've got some good players. They were supposed to be good. South Carolina was supposed to be good. And it just really, I think that Colin Murray-Boyle's kid's really damn good. He's an NBA player. But I'm not worried about South Carolina. I think we win this game at home. And we owe them one. Obviously, it's a new team. But that loss last year really irked me. We owe them one. So
yeah, we owe them one 100% because I feel like we've struggled with them for no reason recently. Yeah. And we deserve to blow them out, in which I think we will do.
Yeah, agreed. Tennessee at home. Carson, what do we got here?
Yeah, I have us bouncing back and winning this one. I think we beat the Vols at home because, like you said, I think they are a tad overrated. They are definitely not the best team in the country. But at home, it's rough. Kentucky's going to beat Tennessee at home.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree. I think we beat them when they come here. I think we go reversal last year. They won here, we won there, which was really weird.
I know. We do that a lot with them.
Yeah, I think we flipped this year. I think we beat them here and they win there. But I think they're just as good as we are. I don't think they're the number one team. I don't think we're the number one team. I think they're a good basketball team.
Exactly.
So I think we win. We win there. At Vandy at home. Excuse me. No, I lied. It's at Texas, Carson. And I'll start here. I think this is the first place we're going to disagree. I have us losing this game. And I don't think Texas is necessarily a good team. This is just a vibe thing. It's a feeling thing. I think that after a big win over Tennessee, it's going to be that same kind of emotional thing. And in the SEC, some often, and there comes Connor whistling, I think people often think, well, you're only going to lose one game where it's kind of a trap game. In the SEC, I think you're going to say a lot more this year than you normally would. So it's people like, well, you already picked the trap game and that lost to Ole Miss. I think that I'm doing a podcast. Shut up. Thank you. I mean, can he stop whistling? That was worth yelling. I'm not even going to pause it. I'm just going to yell because I've had enough of Connor Hall. But I think that we lose to Texas it feels like a trap game. They're a good, not elite, but good team on the road, playing there, new to the SEC. Welcome, Kentucky, the best program in college basketball. Carson, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of what you just said. I think this will be a fun game. I think they're going to be excited for this game. But I actually think we go down there and I think we win. Because I think they rely heavily on their freshman Trey Johnson. And I think that a freshman, I don't see a freshman beating our team. I know it because I just think we're built like physically wise, we're going to be able to guard him. He's going to get his, but his is going to be inefficient. So I think we're going to win.
Yeah, that's fair. It's completely valid. That's just a vibe feeling for me. I don't think they're great. It's just a feeling there for me. Then Vandy at home, we won't spend any time. I assume we both have a win there.
Yeah.
Not too much concern. And then at Bama, Carson, at Bama, how you feel about that one?
Yeah, I have us losing at Bama. That's just because we beat them at home. We play similar play style to them, so I think they're going to get us on the road. And now, like you said, the more we talked about it, I felt more and more like we might win that game. So I think it's probably closer to a toss-up than like a straight up, just lost blowout. So I feel pretty good about it. But I do think we lose down there in a close one.
I think of the good SEC teams, and in those, I think that would be Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky. Is there anyone else in the top 10 that I'm just randomly blanking on? Or is that all of it? Oh, here, I can find this out right now. I got to click.
It's Florida.
In Florida, of those 5 teams that are in the top 10 for the SEC right now, I think that the team that has the highest chance, some might assume it's Florida, some might assume it's us, the highest chance of kind of falling off the map to me is Alabama. I don't know why. I think Mark Sears I think he's an overrated superstar, kind of like Wade Taylor. But hey, we know A&M's
didn't know you could be washed in college.
And Aiden Holloway sucks. Have I ever told you Aiden Holloway sucks? But so that's one. He's yeah. I don't like Aiden Holloway. I don't think he's very good.
Yeah, he got with Andrew's ex-girlfriend.
Evidently.
No.
Yeah. But
that's why I hate him so much.
Yeah, but that's funny. I think that we lose at Bama, but I think that could be a game if we redid this in a month and a half. My opinion might change quickly. So that's what I'll say on that one.
No, yeah, I mean I feel you too. That makes sense, and I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah. So at Oklahoma, this was one, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be honest. We did talk a bit about this game before we press record. I think I talked to you a little bit into rolling on my side, but let's both share thoughts here. I have us losing this game. They've just played a lot of quality basketball games and just continue to find ways to win. As we sit right now, Oklahoma is, where are they? They're 13-0, right? Isn't that what we? Yes, they're 13-0. So they're 13-0. They've played 5 games not at their home court, so they've been tested away from home. I was a neutral site, but still, they've been dealt not an insanely tough schedule, but a solid non-conference schedule, and they didn't lose. And I think that's impressive. I think they're a good basketball team, and I think that's a tough game to win on the road. So I have us losing that one.
Yeah, I have us winning this one actually because their best player, Jeremiah Fears, is a freshman. We actually recruited him. He was a late addition, but he's a stud. He's averaging almost 20 points a game for them. And in my opinion, when you have a guy like that and we have a guy like Lamont, I just feel like we're going to win those battles and making them more inefficient. I think our team's talent-wise is better. I have us winning that game.
And you're going to make someone else beat us with Lamont. You're going to make someone else on that team beat us than the Fears or a Trey. Is it Trey Johnson?
Yeah, Trey Johnson for Texas.
Johnson. You're going to make someone else other than them beat us. So that is, I have us losing that game. Then we get into my favorite month of the year, which is March. And you start March, you start February and March, both with big Saturday games. You start February against Arkansas. Then you start March against Auburn, who I think is really good. I think they're really good. I think that Kentucky loses this game. I watched that Auburn team play. I think Broom is a real superstar. I think
He's the best player in the country.
I think that Mark Sears, I compared to some of these other players, just Janai Broom goes out there, doesn't matter who it's against. If it's against
Johnny,
Johnny Broom, you love saying Johnny Broom, but I don't care who it is. He goes out there, whether it's the number one team in the college basketball or some random team on a Tuesday night. He goes out there and he puts up 20 and 15 every single night. I think he's really good. He's insane around the rim. And I'll tell you this, I know that they have him playing the 4 this year with that number 44 Cardwell kid who everybody dislikes because he likes to take off his clothes. But I'm a little worried that Broom's going to eat Carr and Omari's cookies just because he's so good down there. So I think we lose that one. But they also haven't won here, I think, since the moon landing or whatever. We make that joke every time, and we make it. So are they going to come to Lexington and win? I don't know if I'm fully buying it, but they're really good, man. So I have us losing this game. But if history repeats itself, they haven't won here in a long time. So you never know. But I have us losing this one.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, I agree with you. I have us losing. In my opinion, I think Auburn is the best team in college basketball, and I'm not even really sure it's that close right now. So, yeah, I have them coming here and beating us. Yeah, I call him Johnny just because I think Johnny. But, yeah, Janai Broom is going to be a stud like he continues to be. And they've got some shooters. Pettiford, is that his name? He's a stud.
Yeah, freshman. You got that Kelly kid that came over from Georgia Tech.
Yeah, he's good. A stud. Yeah.
But that's been the difference for them this year is they're freshmen. That Pettiford kid, man, and I watched him in that Maui. That kid, jeez.
You know who he looks like?
Who?
He looks like a great version of Katie Johnson because he wears 0, but he doesn't suck.
That's why you want to know why Auburn's good?
Because of him. Because Katie Johnson.
Because Katie Johnson's gone. I found this out the other day. He went to George Mason, and he's coming off the bench.
Oh,
which is insane.
Yeah.
How do you come off the bench? He's averaging 6 points a game at George Mason.
Me and KD Johnson have exchanged words before.
Yeah, you all had social media beef, didn't you?
Maybe a tad bit. It's all cleared now. We cleared it up.
Yeah, you're back tight now. He's shooting 38% from the field at George Mason. Solid year for the kid. But so that's my thoughts on that Auburn game. It's gonna be a tough one. That Pettiford kid's good. They're deep. They're talented. They're big. They're a good team. And I'll tell you this. I hope that I would only want to play them in the national championship game. I hope they're on the other side of the tournament.
I agree.
So
and that would be your first home loss. So that's not that crushing,
No, and I almost said that when I said don't lose home ranked games.
Yeah.
That's one I just think they're good.
They're going to be the number 1 team in the country then too. So you lose, we'll be probably top 10. You'll lose to the number 1 team at home. It's not
number 1 team in the Nets and Ken Palm. You're not going to draw. I mean, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, last 2 games, Carson, this is my favorite part about our SEC schedule is that we end the slate against LSU and Missouri. I absolutely, and now I didn't write down. Are those both home or both?
LSU's at home, Missouri's away.
Okay. I think we take care of business in both of those games. I think that we do. I don't think that they're very good. I think that helps us. Hopefully, if you could beat Auburn, that'd be awesome. But at least don't get just ran out of the gym and then win these 2 games. I think you're going to go to Nashville with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on those 2 games, Carson?
Yeah, I have us winning at home against LSU. I think we are better than LSU is. That one's going to be one of probably your easier games, I would say. We definitely can't overlook them. And then at Missouri, I actually have us losing. I have us losing to Missouri at Missouri. And I want to give you my take on it.
I did not know you were going to pull that one out.
I know. I did. Yeah, I know. And here's my thought process, right? So everyone remembers 2012, Anthony Davis, great team. They lost to Vanderbilt the last game of the season before they went on their stretch.
Yeah.
People forget about that. But I think a loss at the end of the season is never a bad thing because you're not going to win 10 games in a row.
Yeah.
You're going to have to win these games. So I think you lose to Missouri. They always have a wild crowd. Every time we play there, it's just weird. It's a weird vibe. We got killed there when Kobe Brown was there 2 years ago. And it wasn't for them being the worst team on earth last year, but I think they bounced back and they're good this year. They added Mark Mitchell. They have some additions. I just think it's a weird loss at the end of the season, but not necessarily a bad one because then Pope can use that to get them back ready for the SEC tournament and then March.
And that's why here's the deal. We have already decided as friends, all of our pals are going down to Nashville for that tournament for the rest of our lives, which, by the way, they better never move it. I think that they just re-upped it.
No, they re-upped it till 2035. So I think we've got a little bit of time.
Okay. Well, yeah, but we're going in 2036. Maybe you talked me into Vegas. That is the only place you can talk me to that's not Nashville. Vegas, Nashville, only two options. But I wouldn't hate us, like you said there. I wouldn't hate us winning 2 games and kind of for the reason you said. I'd like to win an SEC championship. Also, would be awesome. But for that same reason you said, it's just okay. You go when you win 3 games to win the SEC ship, then you have to win all these games in a row to win a natty. So I'm kind of with you there. But so what was your final record? Were you 11-7 or were you 12-6?
I was. Let me count it up real quick.
Because I was 11-7. I want to count that again though. 1, 2,
12-6.
Yeah, I was 11-7. 11-7. And I think if you're anything around there, 11-7, 12-6, that puts you 9 or 8 losses. In this conference, I think that's like having 6 losses.
And that's like a 2 or a 3 seed still.
Yeah,
like
I think you'd be in that. I think you'd be in that 3 to 4 range.
I think you'll get the bump because of your schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to lose any games that are quad 3. Like there will not be a single quad 3 game on your schedule.
Yeah. That is true because we just sat here and talked about like I think that Auburn,
like Vandy at Vandy is a quad 2. Like you're not gonna lose any quad 3 games. There's nothing on your schedule.
Yeah. I just think that like Auburn, who I just predicted to, I think they're really good. I still see a world where they go 14-4.
Well, yeah.
What I mean? Like,
but I also think that gets them a 1 seed. Like, I just think that they're going to view this as the SEC is the most dominant conference.
Yeah.
Not even close. They lost 4 games in like December, like as a conference as a whole. So like, I just think that there's going to be a little bit of a jump for SEC teams, like they're going to get the bump.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm with you. All right. 12-6, 11-7. Leave in the comments I think the easiest way to do this would probably be because assuming you are picking us to lose less than we're going to win, leave in the comments the games you think we're going to lose and your overall record. Curious to what everyone has to say. We're going to keep note of ours, keep note of yours, and we can revisit before the tournament in Nashville. Carson, any other thoughts before we get out of here?
If I got a bet to make with you.
Okay.
We'll keep this ongoing. If they win 12 plus games, you owe me $20, but if they win 11 or less, I owe you $20.
Deal. That's a good bet. I like it because that's part where we're at. I like it. That's so good. Side bet, water bet, Vegas bet. Love it. Yeah. Get even worse. There's the bet. You heard it. 12 plus, Carson gets 20. 11 or less, I get 20. Good bet. I'm all in. That's going to do it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, Happy New Year to everybody, by the way. Also, our thoughts and prayers are with what's going on in our country right now. Just sickening and horrible, and we just want to put that out there. We're thinking about the darn good city in New Orleans and what's going on down there. So we're thinking about y'all, and we're thinking about everybody because it's a tough time for our country right now with all that going on. Tomorrow, we'll be back with a little full-on Florida preview. Going to be a fun one. Big game on Saturday. We'll see y'all tomorrow for that one right here on the Wildcats Today Podcast.